There exist so many amazing genres of games, right? Boss rush, platformer, puzzle game, but perhaps the most popular and beloved genre out there is cheese games. So today, we'll take a look at some of the cheesiest cheese games on Steam. Now, in order to determine what exactly counts as a cheese game, I think we ought to set some cheesy rules here. A cheese game is a game revolving around cheese somehow, whether that's a game about cheese or being a cheese, or maybe a game about mice and or rats that collect the cheese. As long as it's the main gimmick here and not just like a cooking game that just happens to have cheese, we're good. That being said, let's check out the first cheese game, Cheese Game. Cheese Game is a cheese game about a cheese gaming and fighting several evil wrongdoers. I don't know what these people did to deserve our little Gouda judge, jury, and executioner over here, but it is our job to end their evil shenanigans. Or perhaps we are the villain of the story, and perhaps they are the vigilantes trying to stop us. Regardless of the roles, it doesn't change the gameplay. Cheese Game has 3 unique wacky boss fight encounters for our cheese self to deal with: the miner, the sheriff, and the monarch. The first villain, the miner, is for some reason the hardest boss of them all, or at least the most powerful one with the most health. No clue why they decided to do it like that, but that's just how it is. The miner attacks by shooting their little rock sheds towards you, or their whole ass self, which you have to avoid. In order to attack the miner, that sounds incredibly wrong, actually. Our little cheese soda waits until the miner charges at us so we can dash through them, taking away one of those famous health helmets. It's actually a surprisingly difficult game, to be honest. You really have to lock in for this one. Granted, I was playing on hard mode, but I mean, you gotta do that. We're cheese pros over here, okay? The sheriff is unironically a really cool fight. They're this serpent-type critter, slithering around and such, and emerging from the soils below, indicated by dirt flying about. Then they surround you and shoot balls of hot. These have bullshit hitboxes though, I gotta admit, but that's okay, we don't mind that. Unfortunately, we do mind the next issue here. Sometimes this motherfucker just charges at you like the miner, right? Pretty normal, that's just how you attack these guys. But they have no indication when they decide to do so. The miner had like a little charge up animation, but Mr. Doohickey over here just kind of rolls with it out of nowhere, and if you're near them with bad luck on the balls of hot pattern, let's just say you're cornered and then die. I like this boss fight more. It is cooler, but that's some shenanigans, dude. The Monarch is the biggest evil of them all. They're a Pac-Man ghost, which is really evil. Unironically, a pretty solid game, actually, especially considering it's free. I gave it like a 6 or maybe a 7 out of 10, I think. Not too bad.
This is false advertising. The game doesn't go, oh, when you die.
That's true. Why the fuck did they put that in the trailer?
Want a break from the... If you tap now to watch a short...
Back in 1976, Cheese... I haven't said cheese in a while, sorry. Nolan Bushnell and Steve Bristow, I don't know how to pronounce these names, invented a little game called Breakout. I'm sure you've seen a version of this game before. It's the game with the little platform down under that hits balls, squares, I guess? Kind of like Pong, right? But instead of tennis, you just have to break the bricks up above. The game was a worldwide commercial success. It was among it was among the top 5 highest grossing arcade video games of 1976 in the US and Japan, and among the top 3 for 1977. Big, massive success, right? Classic, iconic video game. If you grew up on flip phones like me, you probably played like a knockoff version of this alongside with like Snake or something. Heck, it was even an inspiration for mother flippin' Space Invaders. That's how big this game was. But with anything this popular, brace yourselves, gang, cause oh boy, here come the copycats. This game costs real-world money. I don't know what drives someone to make this, other than shiny coins, of course, but boy am I glad someone did. I love how fucking loud this game is, with no way of turning that up. Oh my god, this is loud. You're in the mystical forest, but for some reason there's also comically small planes flying around. I don't know what the objects you're hitting even are. The power-ups disappear when it's time to actually use them. Where did it go? And last but certainly not least, only half of the diagonal broom even has a hitbox. So sometimes you just kinda lose. This has nothing to do with cheese. You're a mouse. Okay, that's it. What's the game called again? Oh boy, Cheese Remastered? Are the bricks cheese? Those are just like 11th dimensional platforms that bounce you around in weird, mystical, unobservable ways. My high score is actually 4th in the world though, so I mean, hey, that's really cool. So this game gets an 11 out of 10. Not a cash grab at all. No, no, no. This is peak. Genie is greedy mouse. Oh yeah, it's in Danish, I forgot. Why does it have Danish? No, you stay there. No, fucking piece of shit.
You're only mouse because you're not even playing on genius difficulty either.
Oh my god.
And you also keep forgetting the ghost mechanic.
Look at this, boom, in there.
There we go. How are you gonna get the brick to move though?
Oh,
No dig.
let me hear this now.
Editor, can you put a compilation of every time Flip messes up the ghost mechanic?
No. My fucking ass. Okay, how do okay, well, so we need to drop this one from like far away. Wait. Well, the thing is, we kind of need these guys to be like down here because otherwise the bomb doesn't get there.
Yeah. You could make the one ball next to the other with a gap in between, and then use the ghost for that.
Yeah, we gotta just kind of do that. Follow me, little man. I love how it's just like completely silent after 5 minutes.
Who needs looping music anyway? Here's a thought. Could you move the bomb on top of the cheese? That way you could move one of the balls to the left.
I got you.
Go move away.
I got you. Please don't like kill me.
Maybe move the ghost away first. Then you go back to the yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Wait, I'm just gonna have like this one, just gonna have this one in there. The bomb's gonna go and it's gonna land on this one and then it's kind of stuck because we can't use it, so...
Well, then you'd have to get the ghost to be sitting on top of that brick.
Yeah.
But then it's not gonna fall on. It's not gonna fall on the mushroom. It's gonna fall on the floor to the left.
Idea. You just gonna stay there.
We can't push the balls away though.
You can do this.
Oh.
Maybe that's high enough for it to work. Yeah. And then I think this should work unless it just doesn't work like that, because that's also always a possibility, you know?
Oh.
There we are.
Yeah!
You got the evil cheese like that. Now what?
Now that's huge.
Now how do we get this one? We don't have bombs no more. Oh, that's what this dude was for, I think. How the fuck were we supposed to get that guy over here?
This is a shockingly difficult puzzle game.
That's on easy, you know? That's on easy. You gotta be a genius greedy mouse for that one, I think. Humongous Entertainment was a titan of point-and-click adventure games. As a kid, I was so obsessed with them that I wanted to name my future kids after their characters. There's honestly so much to talk about since the games mean so much to me, and I'll probably make a whole video on them someday in the future, but for now, let's just stick to cheese. Humongous Entertainment is known for making beloved franchises such as Put Put, Pajama Sam, Freddy Fish, and the topic for today, Spy Fox. Usually Spy Fox is just like another one of those point-and-click adventure type deals. It revolves super secret agent Spy Fox putting a stop to like the wackiest, most cartoony villains, right? So I was surprised to find a Fox game in my cheese searching endeavors. Since I don't really remember this game, well of course I don't, because this game is nothing like the other Star Fox games. Star Fox? That's F-Zero. This game is nothing like the other Spy Fox games. It starts off normal with like a cutscene showing the evil Russian lady with like the least Russian accent you've ever heard.
You'll never catch me!
Stealing the famous and iconic Limburger cheese. So naturally, it is up to us to capture the baddie and save the universe or whatever. Usually you talk to NPCs and solve puzzles, but here, I think the devs got a bit lazy. In Spy Fox in Cheese Chase, you chase and collect cheese. You see this gameplay? That's all there is. And no, it's not a high score type deal either. These are like 1 minute levels that are almost impossible to lose. I know the game's for babies and all that, but come on, this is so uninteresting. I would have hated this as a kid, I think. You collect the cheese and then avoid the goons, as they call it. The goon squad, dude, they're coming.
That boost. I like that they named all of the levels.
After every level, you go back to the lab for a new motorcycle, which is so counterintuitive, by the way. Like, oh man, my Vespa is out of fuel. Gonna have a new one, daddy? Like, no wonder the evil lady gets away with this. This fops over here ain't even trying. Compared to the other Humongous games, this is just a cash grab, I think. I wonder how much this game cost back in the day, actually. If you know the answer, please let me know. It would be so funny if this was like a $60 game on the shelves, and all you do is fucking... the goons. But yeah, this isn't the Spy Fox I know and love, so it gets a out of 10, I think. Say cheese. Say Cheese is a cheese puzzle cheese game with a mouse character going around yearning for the cheese. The puzzle aspect hits you when you realize you only get a certain amount of moves per level. The arrow tells you can only move X amount of times before you die, so you really have to take the most optimal path to victory, which is a super clever mechanic. I really love figuring out where to go. Levels in Say Cheese are mazes with walls and such, which you can't go through, of course, so you go around, except you can go through when it's like a see-through type wall or a different color or whatever in the later worlds, which makes the puzzles much more complex than you think, since you gotta be on the lookout for these imposters for more optimal paths. Each world introduces a few new mechanics to deal with, which keep making the puzzles more and more advanced the more you learn about the game. As mentioned before, you start off with a certain amount of moves which you use to navigate the maze, but later you gain the ability to attack enemies, still only a set amount of times, of course. So after hitting, for example, 3 enemies, you die on the next one. And then there's the health mechanic, granting the ability to damage boost through spikes, but of course only the set amount you get at the start. All this combined makes for some really cool puzzles to solve. And I didn't even mention the specific level mechanics they add, like the cracks in the floor, which turn into bottomless pits after standing on them and then leaving them. I lost track of time with this game and probably spent as much time playing Say Cheese as all prior games combined, if not more. Jokes aside, I wanted to make like a shitpost essay about cheese games, which is funny, right? But this one caught me off guard with its quality. I did not expect to have so much fun with one of these. I highly recommend that you buy this. It's like $2 or something and way worth the price. Get this game out of 10. Last, but also the exact opposite of least, we have Rocket Rats, a cheese-like deck builder where you surprisingly attack the cheese, for it is evil and twisted and fucked up in the tits. The cheesy little protagonist rat, presumably named Snoying, walks around in space on a satellite-type rock-type cheese. Who knows what this object could be? Whilst doing so, a horde of evil cheeses slowly makes its way towards us, and we have to do something about it. Luckily, we have our trustworthy pew-pew device, so fend off them fiends. Said evil cheese fiends get even more evil and more cheesy, however, so we'll have to upgrade Snoying in order to deal with it. The upgrades range from faster reloads to higher damage and such, like any cheese-like out there, but it is a lot of fun to try and choose the correct upgrades in order to deal the most significant damage and survive for as long as possible. There's meta progression in this game as well, meaning when you die, you can spend points to get the cool cheese upgrades from the start, which is really cool and awesome. I know I'm just describing a basic cheese-like deck builder to you, but sometimes it's the simplest things that are the most fun. Rocket Rats is quite addicting and satisfying and such, and probably the best cheese game of the bunch here. My good friend Bo, who shows up sometimes in these videos, bought the game right after our recording session, and this man only plays Guilty Gear and nothing else, so that has to mean something, right? Overall, this is a yeah out of 10. Highly recommend, lots of cheese. I'm gonna review this one. Was looking for cheese games, and this
Cheese
one
games.
was the best.
This one was a cheese game and I liked it a lot.
Very much cheese, and I liked it a lot.
Yay!
:3. So what did we accomplish today? What was the moral of the story here? Sometimes when looking for something funny, you just gotta go with the bit. You may find some slop to laugh at, but you might also find some hidden gems you otherwise never would have given a try. I don't think it's about the rats or mice goals necessarily, but it's about the cheeses we eat along the way. Look, all I'm trying to say is, I sincerely hope they make a Oh Boy Cheese Remastered Nintendo Switch 2 edition plus Gouda Goblin Gauntlet for $89.99.
You'll receive 30 minutes of